Hello, thank you for clicking on. Last week the COVID lockdown restrictions were eased, weren't they? Hooray, I hear you say. Well, now we've got pub gardens, hairdresser shops, gyms and zoos open. Here's some comments I heard from people on the news. One said, "It feels like I've just got out of jail." Another, "It's lovely to get a bit of freedom back." And another person, "Until your freedom is taken away, you don't appreciate it." So today's thought for the day is about freedom. What is freedom, and what does the Bible say about freedom? One definition of freedom is this: the power to act or speak or think as one wants. The state of not being imprisoned or enslaved. Issues of freedom and human rights can be highly contentious. One of the challenges to wanting to do our own thing and being able to be independent is that we're not independent, are we? We live surrounded by others, and if we've got faith, surrounded by God as well. So everything we do affects others or affects our relationship with God. If I'm planning a party till midnight, then I'll discuss it with my neighbours and invite them. If I don't, I might create a lot of ill will and the police might be called. The sad thing about doing what we want is that sometimes this can lead to abusing the very freedom we have, and it can lead to self-destructive behaviours. The point here is that we become enslaved or imprisoned by the very things we're free to do. 1 Corinthians says, "Everything is desirable, but not everything is beneficial." Remember, God took the people of Israel out of slavery into the desert, but he gave them commands to follow. They still needed boundaries. Now, it's this understanding of freedom, boundaries, and the choosing of destructive behaviours that the Bible speaks into. Of freedom, Jesus said this: "You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. He who the Son sets free is free indeed." And in the New Testament, Paul writes, "It was for freedom that Christ has set us free." That's Galatians 1. Now, what I'm going to say might seem shocking, but the freedom Jesus promises is only possible by pledging our loyalty to serving Jesus. The Bible deliberately uses the phrase "slave to Jesus" when explaining how we choose Jesus or the things that are not good for us. However, there is a big difference between serving the devil and serving Jesus. Jesus loves and cares for you and me. He's got our best interests at heart. He isn't out to destroy us. Now, who wouldn't want to serve a boss like that? Bob Dylan's song, "Gonna Serve Someone," in the chorus takes this issue of serving and explains, we're going to have to serve somebody. Yes, indeed, we're going to have to serve somebody. Well, it may be the devil or it may be the Lord, but we're going to have to serve somebody. Remember, Jesus said the devil comes to kill, steal and destroy. God deals with the very heart of an issue, doesn't he? In this case, it's our inner desire to do things that in short term appear good and pleasurable, yet they're not good for us in the long run. There will be consequences. Sin's fleeting pleasures, the Bible calls them. God addresses that part in us that drives us to these destructive behaviours. Paul in Romans 7. "For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. For I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep doing. Now if I do what I don't want to do, it's no longer I that do it, but it's the sin living in me that does it." Now, I don't know about you, but I find that really helpful. Paul makes a distinction between the sin, that's the things that separate us from God, living in me, and me. He sort of depersonalises it. By deciding to follow Jesus, we will know that our old sinful selves are crucified with Christ so that sin might lose its power in our lives. So, how about handing more of our lives over to Jesus? Could there be something that might be beginning to control you? Would you like to put it to death? Alternatively, is there or are there things stopping us from being free? Are we free in ourselves to laugh and to sing, to dance and to cry? Because God isn't a killjoy. Being free indeed in a relationship with Jesus means that you can be the liberated person that God created you to be. Thank you so much for listening. God bless. Bye-bye.